Hey guys, Robin Slayer here, and welcome back to Doki Blue Skies. Now, this is part 7. Hopefully we can get to the festival in this episode. I am very hot and very sweaty right now because I just got back from a jog. So, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I want to do it now. So, anyway, let's just get started. Not worry about anything else. Let's just get into it. Cleaning can be very therapeutic. I would have been more than happy to have helped you. Please, what kind of host would I be if I left this place a tip? Besides, I like to know where everything is in my room. Everything has its own place, you know? Yuri nods and walks over to my desk. She carefully studies the various collectibles I have set up on it. Suddenly, she reaches down and... Wait, don't look in there! I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. Do forgive me, Jake. I shouldn't be poking around the property of others. I don't know why I did that. It's okay, well, never mind. I'm glad I managed to catch her before she got a chance to look inside. There's things in there that I'm not really comfortable sharing with others. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She starts to fidget with her hands, gently squeezing them. What things do you have in your desk drawer, buddy? What do you have in your desk drawer, buddy? So what do you have planned, Yuri? I'm probably not gonna really because this is all basically the same stuff. It's kind of basically the same stuff as the original game. I don't really know. I'm gonna skip a lot of this because it's mostly it's just I really want to get to the festival part, you know? Yurido, be cute. I'm gonna screenshot this spot though. I'm gonna screenshot this. Because she cute. She cute, guys. I swear though, Sayori better not have depression in this one, or suicide, or anything. Yeah, it's basically the thing. It's basically the thing where she's talking about the knives. Well, of course. This time Yuri doesn't stick her finger in her, doesn't stick my finger in her mouth, so that's good. I'm sorry I'm being a little bit quiet. I'm just trying to look for, you know, new dialogue. Oh. I'm not gonna read it out loud though because it's. Stairs, take the paints. No, I hate that text. No, why, Yuri, why? It's like the original game. Why is she still cutting herself? I don't understand why she's still cutting herself. I'm just bored, just sitting here trying to look through all the text that's different. Everything after the festival, or everything on the day of the festival, is gonna be different, so there's really nothing, you know. I'm just bored. It's like the same as everything. We're gonna get the freaking. Yep, I knew it. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to screenshot this CG because, well, it's. I don't know. It's a weird looking CG, but it's kind of cute in the same time, so. Okay. That should do it. I finished. Oh, god dang. Ads. The front door. See, without thinking about today, it's fine if we didn't have much time as we wanted because we can do this again whenever you want. Come over, we can hang out somewhere. Oh, that's right, because Sary's supposed to jump in at this point and, you know, bug you, or, not bug you, but see what you're doing. I feel that we can, and I got to do this with Yuri. I enjoyed my time with her a lot. The way she said she simply enjoys having company. I understand exactly what she means. Tomorrow's going to be incredible. I just know it. Ah, the transition. It's so cute. I love this transition. It's so cute. Festival day! It's the day of the festival! Alright, time to get into my game mode. 10 minutes in and I got to do nothing but just skip through. Ooh, God, my... Oh, please, I'm lightheaded. God dang it. It's fine. Alright, let's do this. It's the day of the festival. The preparations for the event should be nearly complete, given all the work everyone's put in over the weekend. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take it with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassure her. I smile, putting my phone away. Her personality even shows through her texts. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Yuri at the festival. Aww. But knowing Monica, I'm sure that the event will be great too. It's been a while though. Where's Sayori? We're meant to watch it together. She's late again. Please don't be please don't be an oblivious asshole, man. I don't want you to be an oblivious asshole. Don't want to leave her behind, but if she takes much longer, I'm going to be late for school. The more time passes, there's going to be a moment of decision soon if she doesn't arrive. As I'm getting ready to leave, I finally spot her, slowly making her way down the street. She's carrying a large sack in her hands, and I'm surprised she isn't running over to me. Isn't she aware of how late she is? Sayori, where have you been? We could have been late for school. I know, I'm sorry. I, overslept again? Or couldn't decide what to have for breakfast again. She immediately pouts. You're such a meanie sometimes. You know my teasing is all good fun, right? Hopefully she was just feeling... Okay, does she have depression, or... Because Monica hasn't corrupted her. She's not dead. She's not hung in a room. And Monica doesn't seem to be evil or breaking the fourth wall, so... But does Sayori still have depression? Probably. She mumbles something under her breath. Of course! It looks like she's back to her normal self again. A definite relief. I felt a little guilty in not spending Sunday with her, but then again, it would probably be wise to give her space. Then again, Yuri also needed help. I point to the sack she's carrying which contains an assortment of colorful little gift bags. Ah, are those the gift bags you were working on over the weekend? Yep, I managed to get everything we need. Candy, quotes, and bookmarks. It was a lot of fun. Although it was kind of hard to stop myself from eating the sweets. And did you manage it? People won't notice if a sweet or two goes missing, right? Can't help but laugh. That's such a Sayori thing to say and do. I'm glad you're feeling better today, Sayori. I'm sorry if I was a bit too invasive on Friday. I just worry a lot, that's all. It's okay, Jake, it really is. It's sweet that you were concerned. But yeah, I'm fine. It was just a little rain cloud, eh? Although, I'm kind of nervous for the festival. Honestly, I don't blame you for that. It's kind of nerve-wracking, isn't it? I mean, I know how much it means to Monica, but at the same time, didn't really realize how intimidating reciting poetry to a bunch of strangers can be. Yeah, it was all for it back in the club room, but now that the actual day is here, she looks a little nervous. I reach over and give her a squeeze on the shoulder. We'll be fine. Don't worry. I know how much you like poetry. Plus, your poems are great. Just hope my performance is up to standard. Oh, don't be silly, Jake. They'll love your poem. I just know it. I chuckle, admiring the definitive optimism that really makes Sayori, well, Sayori. Guess we'll find out. By the way, you doing anything after the festival? Anything fun? Nope. I haven't really planned that far ahead. I'm not great at doing that anyway. Kinda hoping we finish early so we can have the rest of the day off, to be honest. So what are you really saying is that you just want to go home and sleep, right? Oh, look at how many students there are. How many clubs are having a little event today? What a technical change of topic that was. Our school is in sight, and there's a lot of students milling around. It's a little strange to think that there's so many fellow students around, yet I've still been feeling so lonely. Or at least before joining the literature club. Times like these make me grateful that Sayori told me about it the club in the first place. I don't know, probably quite a few. By the way, Sayori. What's up, Jake? Just wanted to say, well, no matter how the festival goes, I'm really grateful you told me about your club and let me join. I've had a lot of fun so far. I scratched the back of my head nervously as Sayori looks curiously at me. I've never been good at expressing myself, and it probably shows. Guess what I'm trying to say is, thank you. It's been so fun being able to spend time with you again, too. It really takes me back. You don't have to thank me for anything, silly. I've enjoyed it too. After all, it would have been lovely if things could go back the way how they used to. How they used to? What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Strange choice of words. What could she mean by this? As we enter the courtyard and make our way to our meeting room, she breaks the silence by giggling. Something funny? Just thought of a way to steal one of Natsuki's cupcakes without her realizing. Are you sure that's a good idea? Natsuki might be a little, but you know better than I do that she can be really fiery. Oh, don't worry about her. She might seem a bit mean on the outside, but she's harmless. Don't let her fool you. Well, I'd rather her than me. All right. Jake, Sayori, it's good to see you guys. Do you want to come and give me a hand? Moniko's placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. That must be the ones she prepared that has all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. Hey, do you guys want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nicely. Or they came out real nice. Sure, yeah, sure. Put down the banner I'm holding and grab one of the pamphlets laid on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. They look really pretty. Something like this will definitely help people to take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized the girls' poems from one of the ones that they performed during our practice. Also, I forgot that I realized something, so I didn't really speak out from when I chose Monika to help the weekend out. I don't know why I didn't say anything, but she would have been really, I remember in the actual game, she was really argumentative about me picking her. She was really argumentative about me picking her. So, like, and she would argue with Yuri and Natsuki, but this one, when I picked her, she was not, like, forcitive. She was sitting there like, that's really grateful, but I don't think I need that much of help, and I think the other three might need more help than I do. So, she gave my offer to the side. So, this is not, like, the actual game. This is freaking Monika. This is new Monika. This is Monika that I would like. This is the Monika I would actually enjoy. I recognized the girls' poems from the ones they performed during our practice. Just then, Natsuki bursts into the room carrying a box that positively towers over her. Yuri trails in behind her, clutching a large duffel bag nervously. All right, it's festival time. Oh, you got here before me? Thought that was pretty early. I'm sorry for being the last one here. I'm glad that some preparation is already underway, though. It should take less time to set everything up this way. Yeah, let's work hard, everyone! Natsuki unpacks her box to reveal 4 trays of cupcakes stacked carefully on top of each other. Jake, I jump back at the sudden outburst. Yes? Help me lay out these cupcakes. Then if you wouldn't mind, Sayori, can you help me with these? Yuri gestures to her bag, to which Sayori nods cheerfully. I help Natsuki with her cupcakes, while Yuri and Sayori start putting up decorations. Meanwhile, Monika continues putting down pamphlets. It isn't long before Natsuki has carefully arranged her cupcakes in a neat formation. Each cupcake is topped with icing and some kanji written in it and a variety of different colored frostings. Oh, these look really good. Great idea to make them literature club themed as well, Natsuki. Yeah, it was a good idea, huh? Wrote down words that specifically had to do with poetry and our poems too. She picks up a cupcake to show me. See, this one says create. Isn't that kanji for use? As Natsuki furiously checks over the rest of her cupcakes to look for more miswritten characters, I glance over at Sayori and Yuri. Yuri's on the floor, paint her inspirational quote on the banner in white paint. Guess she figured out where I put the banner herself. Meanwhile, Sayori hung up the kanji curtain in the doorway and is puzzling over the essential oil setup. A good writer possesses not only his own spirit, but also the spirit of his friends. Yes, it's a quote by the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Seems like a pretty fitting quote. Yes, I thought that it would summarize our experiences in the club quite well. I finished with the lettering, so if you wouldn't mind, Jake, that is, could you help me hold my chair steady as I pin this up? Of course. Yuri pulls a chair up in front of the classroom and climbs onto it. Oh, wait, I didn't read the last one. Teetering slightly. Okay. She grips the banner tightly in her hands and reaches up to attach it to the wall. The chair gives a threatening wobble, but luckily I managed to steady it. It's okay, Yuri. I've got you. You don't have anything to worry about. Thank you. Is it just me, or does she look like she's starting to blush now? I feel my cheeks beginning to heat up as well. I didn't say anything weird, did I? When I help her down from the chair after she's finished, she looks more bashful than ever. Man, how do I always make things so awkward? Looks like all the preparations are almost finished now. I feel like there's something more missing though. Suddenly I notice a large bag sitting forlornly by itself to the side. That's Sayori, isn't it? Sayori, did you forget to set up your part? Did I? She rushes over to the bag and quickly empties it out. It's full of small, colorful bags tied shut with the ribbons. Don't worry, I'll help you. We start organizing the goodie bags in neat rows on the desk closest to the door. I peek inside one of them as we do so. You can take a bag if you want. Inside the bag, I find candy, stickers, inspirational quotes from poems on some sort of card stock, and bookmarks. Looks like there's a good mix of things in here. I chose only the best candy for the festival, and the best quotes. The best bookmarks as well. You betcha! We laugh as we finish up our task. I take a bag, fish out a candy, and pop it into my mouth. Sarah really does have good taste. The chocolate and toffee seems to melt on my tongue. Can I have one too, Jake? I can't resist those puppy dog eyes. Thanks, you're the best! Oh, it's... Ooh. I can't even see it, is the problem. I see the goodie bags, the candles. It's really dark and dim in here. I really like that. Ooh, I'm taking a screenshot of this one as well. That is some outstanding freaking... Yeah, this is going to be the thumbnail. This is going to be the thumbnail for sure. By the time we finish, it looks like everyone else is done too. The classroom is now darkened and lit up by the ambient lighting of the candles. A delicate floral scent wafts through the air, courtesy of Yuri's essential oils. Sayori and I head down towards the other three girls who are huddled near the front of the classroom, murmuring to each other. Is it about time to start yet? Oh, even Monica's dimmed out. Almost. We wrote that we were going to start at 10 a.m. on our posters, and that's in 10 minutes. Are people actually going to show up for this? Don't be so negative. Some people have shown up already, and I'm sure that more will file in soon. You guys don't have to be worrying so much about it. I've got full faith in all of you. I've seen all your poems. It's been amazing watching each and every one of you find and nurture and your unique writing styles. She smiles encouragingly at each of us. To her credit, her words are helpful, even though I haven't been part of this club for as long as the other three. Even Zake? That's a key! It was just a joke, jeez. Thought some humor would lighten the mood. Sorry, just trying to make sure everyone's in the best frame of mind before we start. Okay, yep, yeah. This is gonna be the thumbnail. This is gonna be the thumbnail for sure. Just because it's all of them in the darkened room of the goodie bags. Because I can't really find pictures on the internet about this. It's okay, Monica. We all understand and appreciate that. Yeah, we all know how this club means to you. I want it to be a success just as much as you do. Couldn't have put it better myself. Even though I've only been in this club for a few days, I felt really at home. Truth to be told, I'm used to being kind of lonely. Knowing I'm included in something with people like you guys always makes me feel better. I haven't told anyone how lonely I've been feeling. I'm a little nervous about how they'll react. They all turn to me, varying degrees of emotion on their face. Natsuki impassively looked to the side while Sayori and Yuri gave me an expression of concern. Aw, Jake, I had no idea you felt that way. I'm sorry. I really hope we can change that. But I'm so happy you're welcome here, too. It's exactly what we wanted. I agree. No one should feel alone. I know it's quite a difficult thing to experience. I feel a warm flush of gratitude at their words. Thanks, guys. That means a lot. Also, Monica, I told Sayori this earlier, and I figured that you might appreciate hearing this. Well, no matter how the festival goes, I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thanks to you guys, that lonely feeling has disappeared. You have all been so welcoming and accepting and believing me. I'm really appreciative of that. So, even if this event doesn't quite go as planned, just know that I really love it here, and I'm so glad Sayori told me about this club. If others don't like what we have here, well, it's their loss, right? The girls nodded in agreement, smiling at me. I had no idea my words would have such an impact, but I'm glad they did at the end. I feel so rewarding to be able to give back to the club for a change. Monica turns to me, eyes shining with appreciation. Thank you, Jake. You're right. Hearing those words from a newcomer really makes me feel like I've succeeded in my goals as president. After all, I wanted to create a place where people can feel comfortable and share literature, and what you've just said makes me feel like it was all worth it. She turns to face the others. See, guys, if we could show Jake how amazing this club is, who's to say we can't show the other students the same thing? Doesn't see them as strangers, see them as potential club members. She definitely got an inspiring way with words. Yeah, good thinking, Monica. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, but if they say anything bad about my cupcakes, I'm gonna kill them. Yuri giggles softly. I won't lie to you, I'm still quite nervous. But after hearing what you said, Jake, I realized there might be other lonely people out there. This club would be the perfect place for them. Yeah, might even find more manga enthusiasts. That's the spirit. Now let's get to the show. Let's get in and show the rest of the school just what the literature club is made of. As if on cue, a few people wander into the room, curiously looking around the room. Monica confidently walks over and greets them. And so it begins. Monica and Sayori have greeted the newcomers and settled them into the desks throughout the classroom. Some people are already helping themselves to cupcakes, and I noticed Natsuki keeping an eye on them. She's like watching them from the distance, making sure that they like the cupcakes that are made. Meanwhile, Yuri is nervously looking through a pamphlet. I can see her soundlessly mouthing the words to her poem. Now that I think about it, I should be getting some extra practice as well. Before I could do so, though, Monica heads back towards us with the Sayori in tow. Showtime, everyone! Let's do this, guys! Time to get this over with. I can do this. We group up and stand together at the front of the classroom. Monica sits up at the podium and clears her throat, drawing the room's attention to her. Okay, everyone, welcome to the Literature Club's poetry performance. My name is Monica, as some of you may know. Some girl sitting near the front of the classroom wave at her. And I'm the president of the club. Accompanying me is the vice president, Sayori. Hi, guys. And the rest of our club members, Yuri, Natsuki, and last but certainly not least, Jake. We all wave back at the students with varying degrees of enthusiasm. I hope that you all enjoy our poetry, and that we'll be able to help contribute to the memorable festival. Literature is amazing, and its ability to connect us to the human condition, and we really hope that this event will help encourage others to start participating as well. Our club will gladly welcome any new members, from those who love words and writing as well, to anyone who's simply just curious and wants to learn more. After the scheduled performances, we'll be opening up the stage for anyone else who wants to perform, so don't be shy. And now, without further ado, I'll be sharing my poem, The Way They Fly. Woo! God, my neck hurts. Did it rain or something? Sorry, I was just curious what's going on outside, but oh, yes. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and I head off to settle down in the frontmost desks, having the seat at the end for Monica. She stands there alone, yet still radiating confidence. After flashing a smile and wink at us, she begins. Each word is crystal clear and exudes emotion. Somehow, her recitation is even better than it was only a few days ago. She must have practiced hard to try to achieve perfection. The classroom is silent at first, drinking in her words. After a few moments, however, some whispering starts up in the back of the classroom. I guess that's inevitable, but it still doesn't make it any less annoying. I exchange a look with Natsuki, who rolls her eyes at the disruptions. Sayori pats my hand and gives me an encouraging smile. She's comforting, as always. As Monika's poem progresses, more and more people wander in. Normally, this would be a good thing, but they're making a lot of noise. Thankfully, they simmer down once they realize Monika's speaking, but the damage has already been done. She reaches the end of her poem, the last few words resonating in the classroom. A round of applause fills the room, and Monika beams at everyone, patiently waiting for them to finish. Thank you for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my poem, and that it gave you a flavor of what this club is like. For the newcomers, welcome. We're just in the midst of showing you all our poems. For the benefit of those who just joined, she quickly reintroduces everyone. Anyway, up next is Natsuki. Take it away. Natsuki stumbles slightly as she makes her way into the front of the class, but I guess the nerves are really getting to her. Doesn't help that someone sniggers, causing her to turn to glare at them. Sayori seems to notice too, as she hastens to shoot Natsuki a reassuring smile. Natsuki stands at the front of the classroom with her poem in hand, slight traces of irritation still visible on her face. Anyway, so my poem's called Jump. She takes a deep breath and begins to her recital. Just as I was hoping, she's able to interject her trademark bouncy style into the performance, bringing the words to life. She doesn't quite radiate the confidence Monika did, but her unique style shines through, giving the poem a flow and rhythm. While simple, it's effective. My heart sinks as I start picking up on the newcomers having their own conversation in the back of the room. I'm hit with a surge of anger. How can they be so inconsiderate? It's clear that they aren't paying any attention, and from the pause and change in Natsuki's tone, she clearly picked up on it as well. Why can't they just save their stupid, selfish conversations for after our performances? Her poem comes to an end, but unlike with Monika's, there's a slight awkward moment of silence. Once again, there's a round of applause, but it's clear that the audience engagement isn't quite as strong. Great performance, Natsuki! I really like the rhythm of that poem! Natsuki forces a smile and makes her way back to the seat. It's clear that she's upset. Anyway, our Vice President Sayori is next to perform. Hi everyone, I hope you like my poem. She cheerfully skips up to the front, poem in hand. As she turns to face us, she looks a little nervous, fidgeting slightly. Hey, sorry, I'm a little nervous. It's okay, Sayori, just remember what you practice. I've got full faith in you. Yeah, you've got this. This one's called My Meadow, or My Meadow. She begins her poem. Her soft voice guides us through her recital, and there's a remarkable contrast between her cheerful inflection and the most bittersweet nature of the words. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice people casually flicking cupcakes wrappers onto the floor, along with candy wrappers lying on the tables. Worse still, the talking is getting louder and more noticeable. Monika walks around at the perpetrators, frowning at them. One of the students lets out a loud yawn, making absolutely no effort to hide it. Another student picks up on one of the quotes and nudges their friend. They both frown and laugh at the message, and I get the horrible feeling it's more the mocking kind of laugh. At this point, I'm seeing red. If we weren't in school, I would have punched these inconsiderate pricks by now. No one should be this rude to Sayori. She's probably the sweetest person I've ever met. Despite the now obvious disruptions, she's still trying her best and is making a real effort to continue. To her credit, her performance is still commendable. She manages to work the contrast of her enunciation against the words in her favor. It adds an interesting depth to the poem. I'd love to see more of this side to her. She brings her performance to a close, hands shaking slightly. Lovely poem, Sayori. You really brought that one to life. Thank you. Something's off with her voice. It's like how she was on Friday. Monika stands up, turning to address everyone in the room. Just a polite reminder that it would be much appreciated if everyone could give our poets some respect while they're performing. Monika looks stern while Natsuki looks positively furious. Thank you. Now the stage is all yours, Yuri. Yuri's looking terrified at this point. Sayori gives her a reassuring squeeze and I lean over, whispering into her ear. "You've got this, Yuri. Just pretend like it's only me, Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica." I can't do this, Jake." "Yes, you can. I believe in you. I've seen how passionate you can become when you talk about Portrait of Markov. I love that. I love seeing you that side of you. Besides, like you said, this club could be the perfect place for any of these people. We just don't know it yet." She swallows nervously, nodding at my words. Okay, thank you." She rises to her feet, poem clasped firmly to her chest and avoiding eye contact with everyone as she walks up. Her eyes flick up to the glance of the classroom when she gets on stage, although she quickly ducks her head back down to look at her poem on the podium. This poem is titled "After Image of a Crimson Eye." Her voice quivers as she starts, but unlike her recitation a few days ago, the meek and trembling version of Yuri remains well into the poem. She determinedly forges ahead, where I can tell that she's not enjoying it in the slightest. The rest of the classroom, momentarily subdued by Monica's words, soon begins to grow louder again. After a few lines of her poem, they are even more unruly than before. The crinkling of wrappers fills the air, and at a few points, Yuri is almost drowned out by the other voices. I catch a few people getting up and leaving the classroom, and by the slight hitch in her voice, it seems that Yuri seen them as well. Her eyes stay glued to her poem now, and it looks like she's trying her hardest to ignore everyone. One boy quietly wolf whistles at Yuri, causing her to jump and lower her head even more. God, screw that person. She's practically shaking like a leaf. This is absolutely disgusting behavior, and I open my mouth to say something. Suddenly, Natsuki stands up, a loud scraping noise from her pushing away the desk, drawing the attention of the other students. "Can you all just shut up? I'm really freaking sick of this. How can you guys be so rude? We're trying our best to show you something amazing here, and you're just going to stomp all over our hard work like that? Unbelievable. Can't even understand how people can be this arrogant, and just the plain terrible. I didn't want to interrupt you, Yuri, but I can't stand it anymore. You idiots might as well leave if you aren't even going to pretend to pay attention." There's complete silence for a beat. Only came for the food anyway. Let's go, guys. Once this boy speaks up and begins to lead his friends away, one by one more students start to follow them out the door. I throw a panicked look over at Monica, who's holding a strange, stiff expression on her face. Looks like she's struggling to stay calm for everyone. After a few moments, there's barely anyone left. Yuri, meanwhile, quietly begins speaking again, but her voice is barely audible. There's just a stifled silence accompanying her words. When she finishes, a weak smattering of applause sounds from the few who are left. She unsteadily steps off the stage, and on a blank look on her face. She won't look at any of us either. I'm worried about her. Okay. Monica's voice cracks as she speaks up. She's still trying her best to see us through this. I don't think any of us could have predicted that it would turn out this way. Thank you, Yuri. You did wonderfully. I'm sincerely sorry for all the disruptions and sheer arrogance you had to endure. Those kinds of people really are the worst. Those who are left, I want to thank you for all staying and I apologize as well. This is definitely not a normal occurrence for the literature club, I assure you. Well, let's finish this off with Jake then. With a heavy heart, I slowly get up and walk onto the stage. When I get to the podium, I am appalled by the sight of the classroom. Candy and cupcake wrappers are strewn across the floor, and quote cards lay tossed about. Many of the cards now featuring shoe prints all over the words. The remnants of goodie bags are left ripped apart on the desks. Even the kanji curtains look tangled up and messy. The only students who left are the ones who waved at Monica at the beginning. This is what Yuri had to see when reciting her poem. No wonder she didn't want to look up in the face with these people. Can I really do this now? How were the others able to finish their poems? I look at the clock. Only 10:20. Has it only been 20 minutes? Taking a shaky breath, I speak to hi everyone. I'd like to take a second to apologize as well, both to those checking out the club today and those who are already in it. But despite everything that's happened, I can say that I'm glad I joined since I got to meet so many amazing people. I believe that you guys will love it as much as I do. Anyhow, I hope that you'll enjoy Acquainted with the Night. I start reading, and I'm struck once again by the beauty of the poem. The loneliness and isolation conveyed so currently, I can relate to a lot of these feelings. I won't be as good as the others at reciting, but I can only hope that I will be able to do the poem justice. Lots of doing both the poet and the club proud strengthened my spirit, and I managed to fight through the depressing mood. The quiet of the classroom suits the lines of the poem well, and my recital seems to fly by rather quickly. Excellent performance, Jake. What a great way to round off the event. As I step down from the stage, Monica stands up to address the room. Thank you all for coming and staying. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's it for the scheduled recitations, but you guys are free to stay and hang out if you want. There's an awkward silence for a few moments, then the remaining students start to stand up. Oh no, I have to give a frickin' voice? Yeah. Hey Monica. Oh, and you too, Jake. I didn't know you were in this club. The girl standing before us is actually my homeroom's class representative, Shiori. Given that both she and Monica are class reps, they're probably friends. Yeah, I only joined about a week ago, so. Ah, I see. Yep. Hey, the way you guys were treated was seriously awful. It's fine. Thanks for saying. Either way, sorry about everything, Monica. I'll check out the club sometime. She gives us a small, commensurate smile, and I'm torn between wondering whether everyone's pitying us or sympathizing with us. They all start to file out of the classroom after a few more goodbyes. Monica keeps a strained smile plastered on her face. Meanwhile, Yuri has her head buried in her arms on the desk. In contrast, Natsuki's staring straight ahead, gritting her teeth, and Sari looking down at her desk, picking a spot on the varnished wood. Oh no. Oh no. They completely destroyed the classroom. It's not dark outside, it's just, I think they just covered the windows with stuff. But no. Today there's tension in the air, it would be a massive understatement. There's silence in the room, made worse by the sense of awkwardness. No one knows what to say. No one expected the festival to end this way, and the impact is hitting us all. So, that could have gone better. My attempt at humor falls flat, and I immediately regret speaking. Natsuki gives me a dirty look, but Sari smiles wantonly. Meanwhile, it looks like Monica's face has finally fallen. I don't understand. Where did we go wrong? Where did we go so wrong, guys? We spent so long preparing for this. And after all our efforts, for the first time, that outgoing confidence Monica always seemed to radiate has snuffed out. She clearly cared a lot about this event, and I feel awful for her. I know, I don't get it either. I thought you guys all did such a good job as well. The decorations, the recitals. I'm sorry, Monica. Don't worry about it, Jake. It's not like it's your fault anyway. She smiles weakly at me. Glancing around, I notice that Yuri and Natsuki seem particularly upset. Yuri looking absolutely dejected and Natsuki steaming mad. This is your fault, Monica. I told you this was a stupid idea. None of us were even that comfortable with doing it in the first place. Now look where it's landed us. Excuse me? My fault? You all agreed to do this. Pardon me for thinking it would actually go well. What's so wrong about that? We only agreed to do it because we felt like you were forcing us. I was really hoping that this wouldn't happen, given everyone's low moods. An argument is the last thing we need. I didn't force anyone, Natsuki. You know how much this club means to me. I was just excited to show what we have for the rest of the school. Yeah, because that was such a good idea, wasn't it? I'm really starting to get sick of your constant sarcasm, you know? Why can't you just try being positive for once in your life? See, it's funny you should say that because I'm really starting to get sick of your self-righteous, know-it-all attitude. We told you that this was a bad idea, but no. You just had to insist on this, even though no one was happy with it. It was for a reason. Look how much Jake enjoys it. Look how much Jake enjoys it here. Is it really unreasonable to think that we could have found someone else like him? Or is it that just too positive for you to fathom? This is awful. The other students were bad enough, but now Monica and Natsuki are going for each other's throats? Look at how badly everyone was humiliated. How inconsiderate all those... She struggles for a moment, her anger inhibiting her ability to speak. Those assholes were to all of us. They didn't give a damn about anything we had to say. What did that one prick say? He was only here for the food? All of that work, just for what? Nothing? She angrily kicks one of the desks, and the loud noise jolts Yuri, who looks up with tears in her eyes. Oh no. Please, Natsuki, can you calm down? Don't tell me you're taking her side, Yuri. You had to experience the worst of it. I don't get why you're mad. You're not mad either. Natsuki, there's no point in being angry at Monica. She didn't want this to happen. She had no idea people would react this way. It's bad enough that the students were rude, and I really don't like fighting inside the club itself. Yeah, but if Monica just listened to us when we said we weren't comfortable with the whole idea, this would never have happened. Monica sighs. This is kind of a conflict she generally leaves for Sayori to deal with. But in this case, Sayori looks too distraught to intervene. What you're not understanding is that sometimes you just have to take risks. Sure, this didn't go so well, but there was always a chance it wouldn't have ended like this, and we could have had new members. She turns to me. I mean, you of all people can understand the best, right, Jake? You made the choice to come here. Look how much you enjoy it. Oh, don't you try to suck up to him, Monica. Face it, you never listen to us, your club members, or take our opinions into account. Tell me, I'm not alone in thinking that, Jake. Oh great, now I have to choose a side? I really don't want to do this. I desperately look at Yuri and Sayori, but both look too upset to want to get involved. So I guess it's gonna be... Okay, for one, so a choice, but why would I choose Natsuki? Like, of course, like, I'm not gonna choose the reason why I'm not choosing Natsuki is it's because she's not my favorite girl. Monica falls under beneath Natsuki. But Monica, in this one, I like Monica in this one, and she tried her hardest to get this thing in order. Natsuki's just pulling her down and pushing her over. So I'm choosing Monica. Something tells me that this is going to make me very unpopular with Natsuki. I brace myself for what's going to come next. Natsuki, come on. You know better than I do that Monica loves this club. It's only natural she'd want to share it with the rest of the school. Seriously? You're actually taking her side? I can't believe this. No, it's not like that. I'm not taking her side. It's just what? That's exactly what you're trying to do, Jake. Don't try to backpedal. Natsuki, that's not what he's trying to say. He's just, of course you're jumping in to his aid. Shut up, Monica. Monica looks furious, and for a moment, I think Natsuki has finally gone too far. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, evidently trying to contain her anger. Jeez, Natsuki, don't you think that was a little out of order? You didn't have to shout at her. What do you know? You haven't been here you haven't even been here for 5 days. What is everyone making me out to be the bad guy here? Remember when Monica said she'd make sure people weren't going to be rude during our performances? Well, congratulations. She sure did a fantastic job with that. I mean, it's not like everyone wolf whistled at Yuri or anything. Was it? Some enforcer you were? Her bitter sarcastic tirade continues on, even point worsening the atmosphere. I'm the only one who can see this for what it is. It's just Monica trying to use the club to boost her popularity. And it sickens me. You think we're all just, what, some sort of pawns for you? Explain why you didn't even consider how reluctant we all were to do this. or why you let everyone just walk over us.
Natsuki, you're just being ridiculous now. Why would I want to hurt all of us?
It's not exactly being easy on me either. Natsuki lets out a snort of derision. You? What would you, of all people, know about life being hard? Monica blinks, looking like she's been slapped. It's easy for you, Monica, with your role as the queen of this school, everyone liking you, all that crap. You have such a perfect life and all, and never having to defend your interests, never having anyone ridicule you for the things you like. I share classes with those assholes, you know, and you can bet they're gonna have a lot of fun telling everyone else about it. About how much of a loser we all are. And guess what? It's all because of you. I can practically hear the venom dripping from her words at this point. It's absolutely horrible. Face it. Sayori would be a better president than you could ever be. And with that, a sickening silence falls onto the room once more. But this time, it's a million times worse. The fire in Natsuki's eyes is blazing. A quiet sobs can be heard from Yuri. Sayori's miserably hugging herself, looking completely lost for words. Monica is wearing a stony expression on her face, looking both enraged and heartbroken. The whole club waits for her her reply to the bombshell Natsuki just dropped on her. But without a word, Monica turns on her heel and walks out of the door, the impact of Natsuki's words hanging in the air behind her. No one knows what to say. For a few moments, the heavy silence remains. We all exchange looks. Yuri is meekly wiping her eyes on her sleeve, and Sayori is standing around awkwardly. Natsuki, on the other hand, is refusing to meet anyone's gaze. She looks like she's regretting her words a little bit.
Guys? Please, can we make sure that never happens again? It was awful.
That was horrible to experience, to say the least.
Without Monica to restore order and keep things going, the club suddenly feels very aimless and disorganized.
Natsuki, I know you're angry, but can you please find Monica and apologize? But please, I know you feel a bit guilty over what you said. After all, you were a bit mean.
Natsuki grumbles something under her breath. No, it's okay. I'll go find Monica. No offense, Natsuki, but I don't think she'd particularly want to see you right now. And once as the words leave my mouth, there's probably a more diplomatic way of saying it. Natsuki glares at me. Fine. As I turn to leave, I suddenly motion to Yuri and Sayori to try and talk to Natsuki. Sayori nods and Yuri nervously swallows. Now, where would Monica go? She would probably want somewhere quiet where she could be by herself, right? Which rules out the classrooms, the courtyard, and the cafeteria. The only two places coming to mind are the girls' toilets or the rooftop. Well, I'm hoping it isn't the girls' toilets. I make my way over to the staircase, leap up to the top, thinking about how this conversation is going to go. Will she even want to talk to me? She didn't even say anything as she left. Was she that upset? Although, given what Natsuki said, I really wouldn't blame Monica. Guess there's only one way to find out. There's a door at the top of the stairs, which opens up to the rooftop. Bracing myself, I put my hand on the cold steel door handle and push the door open. Man, the view up here is really something. I shiver as the wind cuts through my blazer. It's cold and desolate place, a fitting setting for what just happened. I look around and there she is, leaning slightly over the barriers at the edge of the rooftop, face turned away from me. Not a peep sounds come from her. Not even when the wind slams the door behind me closed. Monica? No answer. I slowly approach her, making a little noise as possible in some illogical attempt not to scare her away. You, looked pretty upset, so I thought I'd come and find you. I trail off, mentally berating myself and how weak that must have sounded. She stays completely still as I sidle up to her side, leaning on the railing so I can see her face. I don't know what I expected, that her expression is oddly calm. Monica.
Beautiful view, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. That the reason you came up here?
It's part of it. On days like this, the wind and the eternally stretched blue sky make me feel like I can go anywhere. It feels freeing. There's something comforting in that possibility of getting swallowed up by the blue. Being able to simultaneously take control and lose control.
Monokari, well, I know you're obviously not okay, but I'm not asking if you're okay to know if you're okay. I'm going to ask if you're okay so that you can choose to talk to me or about whatever if you want to give you an opportunity to open up. So, are you okay? I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I'm gonna leave it here. This was sad. I don't have any more comments to say, so thank you guys so much for watching. I guess I'll see you guys the next one. Goodbye.